Welcome to Coffee and RPGs. My name is Solomon S. Kane. Thank you for tuning in for another episode of MMO and RPG News Roundup. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday, but we do have a lot of news to cover, so if you guys got your beverage of choice, let's cover the news together. Cheers to you guys. So the first bit of news I wanted to cover comes from PCGamer.com. Outriders broadcast will showcase People Can Fly's upcoming RPG shooter later this week. And to be honest, I completely forgot about this game, but I am definitely glad that it's back on my radar. It goes on to read that Square Enix revealed Outriders, a sci-fi shooter RPG from Bulletstorm studio People Can Fly, at E3 2019, and that this broadcast is coming up on May 28th, which is in 3 days right now, as of recording of this video. And it does go on to read that the first Outriders broadcast, set to begin at 9 a.m. Pacific or 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Twitch, will feature a look at new gameplay, areas, powers, deep dives into character classes, and more. We had a chance, or the people over at PC Gamer did, or rather they had a hands-on with Outriders in February, and found out that while there is definitely some Destiny vibes to it, it maintains People Can Fly's distinct style. It's not over the top as Bulletstorm, which probably goes without saying, but it is still a fast-paced, super power-infused shooter that straddles grim, dark, and laughably ridiculousness. I'm assuming. I don't know if that's a typo. This kind of also reminds me of the action or RPG shooter or looter shooter that Activision is actually developing to replace what they had before they parted ways with Bungie. So now that they don't have the Destiny franchise under the belt, I think Activision 2 is making something similar to Destiny. So who knows what kind of games we'll get. Next, we head on over to MMOculture.com. ODIN Valhalla Rising. First 4 classes announced for Unreal Engine 4 mobile MMORPG. So if you've been watching this channel for a while, you guys know that I have certain biases against the mobile platform, but admittedly, this game looks really amazing for a mobile title. I'm really hoping that they'll make a PC port as well as the people over who made V4 did. But it does go on to read today, new Korean developer Lionheart Studio not only confirmed an official game title, ODIN Valhalla Rising, but also previewed the first 4 playable classes. They are very familiar staples of the MMORPG genre, including Warrior, Sorceress, Priest, and Rogue. Other features touted so far are large, massive open world with no loading, various types of instance dungeons, and large-scale PvP. To be a truly next-generation game, ODIN Valhalla Rising will have features such as scaling cliffs and buildings, swimming with ground and aerial combats as well. And to kind of digress just a little bit, I know we've talked about the definition of MMORPG. What kind of characteristics should a game have in order to call itself an MMORPG? And I believe, in my opinion, that 95% of the titles out there that call themselves an MMORPG on the mobile platform aren't as such. I don't think you could compare, say, something like Black Desert Mobile to the actual title Black Desert Online on PC or Final Fantasy or World of Warcraft. I don't think that's a fair comparison, but at the end of the day, they could prove me wrong. Maybe this will be an MMORPG, so we'll see. Next, we head on to MassivelyOP.com. Aion North America outlines item changes, renown changes, and new equipment types coming to its next update. It goes on to read, we learned that renown will soon be earned by completing various quests and zone content across Bellaria, with new renown levels unlocking things like additional content such as new merchants, quests, and more. Renown levels will be important as getting higher renown within Ingison and Gelkmaros, I believe that's still how you say it, will allow players to open rifts to invade the opposing factions' zones, and higher renown levels will increase the number of players a rift can accommodate. And that definitely brings back a lot of memories. I completely forgot how to pronounce the Asmodean side of the continent there. I played Ilios myself, so that's why I really remember Ingison. But it does go on to read, effectively, gemstones modify active abilities while runestones modify passives. And players also get to take a look at 2 different equipment types: imbued weapons, which will have 104 inherent abilities that can be enhanced through a process called promotion, and paragon equipment, which is only earned by defeating world raid bosses and powerful instance bosses, and can only be enhanced with paragon enchantment stones. So we have another delay, unfortunately, and this one is brought to you by Destructoid.com. Fairy Tail RPG appears to have delayed once again. Koei Tecmo's upcoming RPG Fairy Tail has been hit with a second delay, shifting its release date from June 26th to July 30th. And as of note, it was actually originally supposed to come out in March, but this is probably due to the global problem that we're all facing right now. And really quick from allchar.com, if you wanted to play Outer Worlds but you only have the Nintendo Switch, well, here's your chance to play it, as the Outer Worlds will come on Nintendo Switch on June 5th. Next, we head on over to MMORPG.com. You can grab a free Sheltered Wizard cache in Neverwinter until June 18th. The pack is set to contain the following items, and just to name a few, it will contain the Wayward Wizard Companion, Bold Ring of the Companion +1, and Personal Greater Stone of Health. Keep in mind that the weapon will also be bound to the character, so make sure you open it on the tune you'd like. And sticking with MMORPG.com, Destiny 2 Season 11 changes include World Loot Pool and Weapon Perks. It goes on to read that the team states that they want to update the World Pool loot seasonally. The goal is to refresh it with the meta-relevant weapons, including some which were exclusive to certain activities. Note here that the pool will be curated from Season 11 onwards and will consist the following. And as you can see here, we have a huge list, and some of the items include Last Hope, Dire Promise, Truth Teller, Last Dance, and so on. So if you want to check out the list, the link to this article will be down in the pinned comment section below. And sticking with Destiny 2, we go on over to altchar.com. Destiny 2 reload perks are getting nerfed while stability is getting buffed, and I do apologize, it's cut off from the right there. But it does go on to read that Outlaw's boost to the reload stat will go from 100 down to 50, while reload duration scale would be moved from 0.8 to 0.9. In the case of scaling, the lower the number is, the better the bonus, so keep that in mind that this is also a nerf. Feeding Frenzy is currently acting like Outlaw 2.0, so it's getting changed. Its bonuses will be based on the number of rapid kills, up to 5. At 2 kills, the bonus will be equal to those of Outlaw. So the article does go on to list a bunch of other changes as well. So again, if you are interested in all the changes, the buffs and nerfs, or otherwise, definitely check out the pinned comment section below for this article as well. And sticking with allchar.com, Lord of the Rings Online offers world transfers now. Players can purchase server transfers for their characters in Lord of the Rings Online, but they can only transfer between servers of their region, so US with US and Europe with Europe. Players, however, cannot get transfers from closed game worlds to active game worlds for the time being, but the announcement noted that the devs intend to make these transfers possible in the future as well. So this is something that I covered last week, and it wasn't really well received for obvious reasons. But over at MassivelyOP.com, XLGAMES and Gamigo or Gamigo say paid DLC will make up for deficiencies in ArcAge Unchained's launch. And basically what the article is saying is that the way it monetized the game wasn't enough to help keep the lights on, and so that's why they had to make the change. I personally don't think that the studio made this decision lightly. But at the end of the day, it's really up to you to decide if the gaming company is being too greedy or not. There are some people that were a little bit understanding. I'm still kind of fence-sitting this one at the end of the day, but yeah, it really sucks to hear this kind of stuff happening. But sticking with MassivelyOP.com, they also say that Gamigo confirms ArcAge's free-to-play version will receive Guardian of the Gods for free, and this is supposed to be their next huge expansion, so at least this is free, but I'm guessing everything after that, it's going to have some sort of price tag. Heading back over to PCGamer.com, Drox Operative 2 trailer shows off the sci-fi action RPG, and I will admit, this actually looks very unique, just judging from the trailer that I'm playing above me. But Drox Operative 2, like the first game, is a top-down action RPG but in space, with a spaceship instead of a barbarian, and ship components for loot. And it does go on to read that it will come to Steam Early Access seemingly in 2 days' time on May 27th, although the Steam listing says it's only the planned release date. So be on the lookout if this is something that you might be interested in. And from MMORPG.com, Star Citizen's free fly event extended until June 2nd. And the reason why they're doing this in a nutshell is because of all the technical difficulties they've been having for this event. And so since they want everybody to experience the world of Star Citizen properly, that's why they've extended this. So good on them for doing so. And for another Star news, sticking with MMORPG.com, Star Trek Online's Red Alert event starts on May 28th. The Red Alert event will start on Star Trek Online on May 28th and runs through June 4th. Note that all Red Alert events will be returning at the same time on PC. The content available during these events includes the Borg Red event and El-Kai Red event as well, to name 2 out of the 5. And really quick from Gamigo.com, Wastelanders 3 Developer Diary number 2, The World Story and Characters, has been released. And we did cover a bit of it last week when they dropped the first dev diary, so I won't go into too much, but I will have the link to their Steam page if you are curious. And they do have the tags RPG, strategy, turn-based combat, and gore, if this is something you might be interested in. And from MMORPG.com, here's how you can get started in Greymoor, launching tomorrow on PC and Mac. And if you didn't know, my colleagues and I who do the Trinity MMO show or podcast, depending on where you are watching, are doing sort of a get-together, sort of hangout stream over on Twitch for this release. And it goes on to read the team notes. There are several ways in which you can traverse Western Skyrim, the new region to be added in or added to ESO. For one, you can simply take the way shrines dotted around the map for fast travel. Alternately, you can begin the main Greymoor quest as well. You could also begin a new tutorial if you want to create a new character, which will be definitely in my case. And once you're done with the tutorial, you'll begin your story in the Noon Zone, Western Skyrim, where you're free to travel as you wish. Additionally, you can check out new antiquities system and travel Tamriel. I think it meant to say travel to Tamriel. You can begin this by heading to the Solitude and finding Antiquarian Circle? I think I'm saying that right. I do apologize. And sticking with MMORPG.com, Zenith kickstarted Cyberpunk VR MMO, shares pre-alpha footage, update on alpha. And I recently did a top 6 Cyberpunk RPG list, which I will have a link to the top right corner in the cards. And honestly, I completely forgot about this game. It was off my radar. I regret not including this game in that list, but in any event, I'll try not to forget about it from now on. But it does go on to read that if you or you recall, the team behind the game, Ramen VR, raised over $280,000 in their campaign. Zenith is now on all major PC HMDs or head-mounted displays. Andy states all major technical hurdles are behind them as they have officially started working on the alpha. Lore and more has been spaced out. Pre-alpha will be wrapping up at the end of this month, which will allow the team to focus on the alpha itself. So a lot of good news coming from this San Francisco-based Kickstarter. And that concludes today's episode of MMO and RPG News Roundup. I do appreciate if you made it with me so far. The watch time does help with the algorithms. And if you haven't done so, please consider subscribing, liking, and hitting the bell notification too, as those also help with the algorithms and the channel as well, considering I'm still a new and small YouTube channel. But in any event, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday. Have a blessed night, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers again, everyone.